everybody, Marcus C. Williams here. And right behind me is my senator's office, Jeremy Cooney. So Jeremy Cooney represents my district that I live in, and I just stopped by his office to set up a meeting with him. I wanted to talk about two major issues that are concerning me. The first issue is bail reform. We all see how the crime is out of control, how people are shooting and stabbing and robbing and carjacking and everything else right now, and it's getting out of control, is to put it nicely. And it's largely the youth who are doing these crimes because they see that there is no punishment, and that even if you are captured by the police because of the crime that you're doing, that you'll be let out in the same day, basically, in most cases, sometimes within a few hours, sometimes even less. And that's a very large concern to me, because when people see that you're let out of jail, when you do a crime, when you do something serious, that means that it's going to encourage more people to do more crime. So that's one of the issues that I wanted to address with him. I know that he said that public safety is something important to him, and that community safety is something that means a lot to him. So I'm reaching out to him on that specific note. Now I'm also reaching out to him on the robots that they're working on implementing for police forces across the state. We saw that they just got the robot dog in New York City. I'm not a big fan of that. I don't like robots for public safety or for policing. That is a very large red flag to me, because we all know that machines do not have that human component to it, especially with the way that AI is advancing. We need to be very careful in the direction that we're going, and I do not want these machines to be armed. That is a very big thing for me. We've seen robots before being used by police to blow people up or to even use other weapons against them aside from just explosives. These are real things. If you remember Dallas, Texas a few years ago, they used a robot to blow a sniper up. This is a whole separate thing, but this is a point that's important. So these robots are coming, and I can see them very well so arming these robots in the upcoming years. And you know, legislation can sometimes take its time to work its way through the whole system. So I want to address it now before it balloons and it's an issue and then it's too late to do anything about it. So I can see it coming, so I want to do something about it now. That's why I'm going to address that as well. So the two things I'm going to address with him are bail reform, okay, and the robots that are being issued for police forces, which I do not want them to be issuing those robots. Tied in with the robot part, also privacy in public, the biometric scanning and stuff like that, and the facial scans and retina scans and stuff like that. I'm not fond of that, especially not for the government to be doing that. That to me is a very large privacy concern, and should be a very big privacy concern to all of you as well. But that being said, this is his office. I came here, I requested a meeting with him. He's unfortunately recently had some family stuff that he's had to attend to, so he won't be in the office as frequently. So I'm gonna set up a meeting with him by sending an email to his scheduling to see when we can get something so we can have a conversation. Because this is my representative, he represents me. So I'm reaching out to the person that represents me, and you should do the same, but in a respectful manner. Always in a respectful manner, but in a firm manner, to let them know that you do care, and that is and whatever the issue is specifically that you have when it comes to legislation is an issue that you want to be addressed. So I encourage all of you, find out who your state senator is. Mine is Mr. Cooney. Yours might be Samara Burke or somebody else, depending on what part of the state you live in. But if you live in Rochester or the surrounding area, it's either Mr. Cooney or it's Samara Burke. So find out who your elected officials are. The Senate is one arm of the legislation on the state level that passes laws. The Assembly is the other arm. My other representative is Damon Meeks. I'm going to work to set up a meeting with him as well. So it's up to you to work with your elected officials to tell them what you care about so that you can get the action that you need taken for the things that are important to you. So here's your action plan. Here's your marching orders. Round up your friends, your family, your neighbors. If you're concerned about crime, if you're concerned about these criminals running amok and doing more and more damage in the community and affecting public safety, gather together with them, go to your state senator's office, go to your state assembly's office, a member's office, and demand that they work to amend things like bail reform and raise the age. These are two very impactful laws that are having a serious cost on public safety right now. And it is up to you as a dutiful citizen and as somebody who is one of their constituents that they're representatives of. It's up to you to engage with them. You can't expect them just to be omniscient and to know everything that you want. A lot of people complain that only special interests or the very wealthy are the ones who are represented by elected officials. But that's only largely because not enough people go out and engage with their elected officials. That's something that you have to do. You have to engage with your elected officials. You have to get many people to come with you too. You can go yourself, right? But it's more impactful if you bring more people with you. Okay? It's more impactful if you bring more people with you. And you can't just go one time. You got to keep going, and you should email consistently. You should call consistently. You should visit consistently, because it's going to require that level of pressure, that level of continued engagement to get movement and to get traction, because that's how they're going to know that you need and you want something done. So you got your marching orders, get your friends, family, everybody together, and go engage with your local senators and your local assembly members and tell them that you want them to amend bail reform and raise the age laws, because they are seriously impacting our community. People are seeing that crime is not punished, especially when it's those who are youth. And the more that people see that, the more crime that is being committed. Because when there is no punishment, when there are no repercussions for serious offenses, more people see that and they say, hey, well, maybe I can get away with it too. And then they try it, and then they do, and then other people see it and they're like, hey, well, if they got away with it, I can too. And that's why we're seeing a continued rise in crime. We might have murders the murder rate might be down this year, but we've got more car thefts this year already than we had all of last year, and it's only the first quarter of the year. That's something that's worth note. We also have more property crime. We also have more regular other crime that's going on, like robberies and theft and other damages and stuff like that, and especially these smash and grabs, which are out of control. But it's going to be up to you to engage with your elected officials. That's your job, okay? It's your job to communicate to them what you want them to do as far as legislation is, because legislation is their job. You guys, you got your marching orders, you got your action plan. If you need any assistance, please reach out. I'll catch you later. Be blessed, be well. See ya.